Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. I'm the mysterious JG. Final Fantasy IX. I don't know, I went off on a long, 5-minute tangent at the end of the last video. Final Fantasy IX, I remember being kind of disappointed by it when I played it back in the day. Didn't hate it or anything, but so I had played Final Fantasy III on the SNES, and there was a long gap, and then Final Fantasy VII came out for the PS1, and I kind of just missed it. Like, whatever was going on in my life, I guess I would have been like just about to go into college. Like, I wasn't playing a lot of video games, and I essentially missed Final Fantasy VII. And then when Final Fantasy VIII came out, I remember playing Final Fantasy VIII and really enjoying it. And I must have been in college because I remember one of my college friends and telling him, but it might have been like after college, and it was somebody I knew that I met in college. But I remember telling them how impressive I thought the graphics were. And then, like, for some reason, he came by my place and saw while I was playing the Triple Triad game and was like, he, I don't really feel like these graphics are that impressive because he wasn't watching the main game. And Final Fantasy, it looks like crap now, like the graphics in that game. But somehow, Final Fantasy VIII was obviously a big jump in presentation compared to Final Fantasy VI. And I liked the story of Final Fantasy VIII, even if it kind of falls completely apart after Disc 1. Um, like I like the character of Squall for whatever reason. Final Fantasy IX, though, I think it was the first game I played after really loving Final Fantasy VIII, and I just thought it was goofy and silly. And then there was another gap, and then Final Fantasy X, which was like probably my favorite RPG ever. So Final Fantasy IX kind of fell in the middle. I've learned though, people have a huge amount of affection for this game. It's this weird. It's not like a black sheep in the family, but it really doesn't. It doesn't. I guess it depends on what you want in a Final Fantasy game, but it got away from the like edgelord hero that had been kind of a thing. Um, People have a great fondness for this game. Even people who hate Titus in Final Fantasy X, who don't seem to realize that Zidane is just Titus without voice acting. But he's actually creepier and hornier than Titus, but otherwise kind of just as annoying. But I'm enjoying this playthrough of it now, like quite a bit. Even though, like, I did remember, I think Final Fantasy IX really lost me because with Final Fantasy VIII, I liked it enough that I was like, I felt compelled to do all of the side quests bullshit. And Final Fantasy IX does two things that Final Fantasy VIII didn't do that much. Final Fantasy VIII didn't have a whole lot. Well, I guess it probably did. I might not have just realized it. Like little quests that you could miss. Like Final Fantasy IX is full of shit where if you don't do this at this point, you won't be able to do it again later. And it's like minor, unimportant side questy stuff. Like I remember going into a dungeon of Final Fantasy IX that you could not revisit after the first time you went in. You get to a certain point in the story and you cannot re-access it. And I missed a treasure chest in there, and there was a skill that I never got because that was the only place in the game you could get that skill. And it obviously wasn't necessary to win the game, but I remember being really annoyed. And there's a lot of little stuff like that in Final Fantasy IX. But more so than that, Final Fantasy VIII had the card game that could be really frustrating, but you basically understood how it worked. And it got a little crazy at the end as the like weird rules from different regions came in and made it annoying. But if you could keep the rules to the basic beginner rules, you could always understand how the game was played. Final Fantasy IX's card game just broke me. Like I couldn't. I had played so much of the card game in Final Fantasy VIII until I did my Let's Play. I never got all the cards because like there's the card quests you have to go on. I didn't know some of this bullshit. Like you have to lose this card and come back and win it back. You know, this guy won't play this card until he's won this card from you. Like all that kind of nonsense. Like I don't think I knew any of that. But Final Fantasy IX's card game is like it's this weird thing, and in the Final Fantasy community, it's agreed that Final Fantasy VIII's card game was better than Nine's, which is a weird thing to care about. But I don't know why I'm going on about this now. I'll just say that I'm enjoying Final Fantasy IX. Um, but again, I don't remember where the hell the story goes. Except I kind of remember how the game begins. I kind of remember how it ends. everything in between is a blur. And like at some point, we're gonna have like a hard right turn of the story because nothing that is happening right now is setting up how I thought I remembered this game resolving. So we'll see where us going to talk to Dagger is going to take things. I wonder where Dagger went. Because this is one of those, like the story won't advance until we just go find Dagger and talk to her. This is the secret room of Madain Sari. You think I need to stay here? You think I need to stay here? I can take care of myself, you know. Oh, good. I'm occupying the same physical space and time as Aiko now.
I'm thinking about something. We'll go pray at the Eidolon while later, and then we'll eat.
Sure, I got nothing else to do. I mean, admittedly, if I'm Zidane right now, Kina has disappeared. Even if Kina was still around, not a great conversationalist, I would be. Even if it wasn't like a pervy sex thing, like who are you gonna spend your time with, like talking to? It's got to be Dagger, right? You're surrounded by, you got like the little pint-sized black mage kid. You got a little kid summoner horn lady. You got a bunch of like walking stuffed animals, and the one person who is your age is the like. Theoretically, she is the cultured, educated royalty who is your age. Like she's the only person he has to talk to who's not going to like make him feel like he's living in an episode of Care Bears. Chimomo. Hey, it's Chimomo. They were born on the same day, but Aiko came out first. Maybe that's why Aiko has always been the big sister. I don't know. I guess the name Chimomo made me think of Shanae, but that's not how Shanae talks, is it? Why don't you get some rest? It'll be good for you, Kupo. Yeah, that's alright. I can hear a song. Dagger. Oh, oops. I guess I didn't bother. Yeah, I guess I could have explored the town to see if there's anything else to do. But in fact, this is Dagger. She's down there. From down there. From downtown. Dagger, you there? She just decided to go outside and start singing loudly. To get some privacy, you know. So then... It's okay. Keep singing. Because it's our song, right? What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, he could compliment her singing. I mean, he could say, it's okay, keep singing is fine. And then he says, because it's our song, right? Like, he just got weird. I'm surprised you found this place. I thought you were just some dumb broad. Maybe I'm overreacting, but the line, like, it's okay, keep singing. It's nice. You could say, like, your voice is soothing, or I love to listen to it, or like, there's so many things you could have said that would have been taken positively. Like, because it's our song, right? Like, she was singing that alone before, and you interrupted her to hit on her. That doesn't make it your song together. You got the talent to be a bandit. How about you and me team up? We'll call ourselves the Betrothed. We'll be the stars of Final Fantasy. Sorry, not Final Fantasy. Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6 hasn't come out yet. It appears to be some kind of Bonnie and Clyde type of thing. My talent's up to snuff, but that name isn't. Jesus. Alright, fine. We don't need to have a bandit name, you know. You're really something these days. Holiday. If I am, I must have gotten it from you. Nah, it's all because you made the effort to learn how to be a smartass. No, it's because you stuck with me. Aw. She's trying, despite all of his efforts, to be a creepy weirdo to make this a genuine and pleasant conversation. Without you, I couldn't have made it to Lindblum, much less seen a whole new continent. Maybe I should be talking in my sincere voice, but nah, whatever. This one's more fun. Everything I tried to do on my own was a total failure. I couldn't stop my mother. At times, I almost lost hope. You helped me so much. Not just you, either. Yeah, Vivi and Iko helped out at the infantry. Kino was real helpful when we were left at the continent. When we left the continent. Aren't you forgetting some people? Freya, Steiner, and even Beatrix, who I thought was our enemy. Wait, when did Beatrix help us? I guess there was like that one moment at the very end, like she helped us to escape from Zorn and Thorn, didn't she? By the way, I mentioned this possibility. I completely did not go back and like watch my own video to see why we came to this continent. I really was going to do it, and then I got distracted, and then I hit record on a new video without my. I haven't forgotten. I want to believe everyone is all right, but sometimes I just can't. For example, I'm sure that Steiner died a horrible death. I hope I can live up to the hopes of everyone who has helped me. You don't have to feel so responsible, Dagger. But I do. But you don't have to. But I do. But you don't have to. But I do. Nobody wants you to feel that way. But I do. They didn't do it all for you either. Each was following his own path. Except for the female characters who were following her own path. His own path? What about Kina? Was that his path, her path, or its path? It's her path? Well, what about you? Huh? Why did you come with me? I think that should be obvious. I mean, do you see this bulge in the front of my pants? Hey, that's Ibsen's line. From A Doll's House? No, that's Ibsen. Ibsen? Who's that? I thought he was educated. Not that I know who Ibsen is, but I would think that she would if he does. Ibsen's a character from a play, but he's a real-life adventurer. I think the play is based on his adventures. It kind of goes a little something like this. Ibsen and his good friend Colin worked in a tavern in Trento. Colin Baker? Perhaps Colin Meaney? Or not, it's Colm. Those are the only two people in history named Colin. Colin Baker and Colm Meaney, who is not named Colin. One day, Ibsen got a letter. The letter was so wet from rain that most of the writing was illegible. Unintelligible, perhaps? The only part he could read said, "Come back home." Nowadays, we have airships and stuff, but back then, it was really hard to travel. You had to, like, press start, and then the L1 trigger for safe travel, and R2 for high-speed travel. He didn't know why he had to go back, but he got some time off, gathered his things, and set out on his journey home. He walked 1,000 leagues through the mist. Sometimes he was attacked by vicious monsters, but he made it because his friend Colin was by his side. Wait, he got some time off? Like, if he was leaving to go home, why didn't he quit? That's my objection to the story. And then, after much time on the road, he had to ask Colin something. Why did you come with me? And what was Colin's answer? Now I'm thinking about the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. Where fucking because I'm doing the damn Solid Snake voice. Solid Snake basically declares, all but tells Otacon, "All right, I'm going off to die now." Like, not going off to a violent battle, but it's like, all right, like, you know, I'm just gonna sit here in a dark corner and wait to die from Fox die, you know. And Hal basically says, Otacon is like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna hang out with you until it's over, and he's like, I'm gonna go die. You don't have to come. Now I'm like thinking about that. It's really touching. And this story is completely random. Like this is all staged to be a really important part of Zane's character, but it's kind of just a random story. Only because I wanted to go with you. You see, Colin was totally gay for Ibsen, and there's nothing wrong with that. See, this is framed to be this really important story, but what is the story? This guy had to go on a journey, and his friend went with him, and his friend didn't really have a good reason to go with him other than just wanting to go. Also, it's two male friends, and now it's going to be this romantic point for them, which is weird too, but yeah, whatever. There's not a whole lot to the Zidane-Dagger relationship. Like, they're together over the course of an entire game, and as you have probably gathered, like they gradually grow closer, but there's not a whole lot of good reasons for any of it. He's basically just a horn dog. So then, I I like it when you stop acting like a horn dog asshole for moments at a time. That's Dagger. You do realize that those brief moments where I'm not being a horn dog asshole are just moments where I'm telling you stories about something else that happened. Can't you... Can't you hear the song? Oh, wait. That's like the diegetic music? Is that diegetic music? I just assumed it was part of the background music. Like, you know, there's always background music playing Dagger. I assume that most of the time we, as characters in the game, aren't meant to be hearing it. Huh? What the hell? Yeah, it's that song. But it stopped. Like when they noticed it. Oh, never mind. A different song is playing now. How come? Who's singing it? Huh? It's like it's an echo of you singing from before. The sunset makes the Eidolon wall look like it's on fire. Are you sure it's not just actually on fire? Maybe that evil lady came back. I've seen this somewhere before. What? What the hell? Where? And seriously, what's happening? Why are they hearing the music? When you hear the music, you know it's time to play the fiddler. And here's the, like, still that they use on the game art all the time. Because I think despite the cartoony graphic style, we are supposed to think she's super hot. And it's kind of weird to me that it's part of the marketing. Okay, so is the city on fire? No, she is in fact flashing back, I think, to something that happened. Where an evil eye appeared in the sky. Which I thought this was actually pretty effective. The creepy eyeball looking down from above. This is long before the Lord of the Rings film adaptation, too. Or at least the one that I'm thinking of. I don't know if the old cartoon from like the 70s had an eye in the sky. Dagger. Dagger, wake up. Tell us about your flashback so we can continue this plot. What's going on? Respond. Dagger. Dagger! Where's Phoebe? He's sleeping. I mean...
He's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up.
I guess it's nice that we remembered Vivi exists for this story. Oh, look, all the Moogles are like crowded around watching through the windows. It sounds like it's raining outside. Let the damn Moogles in. This is so rude. I have no memory of my early childhood. Yeah, most people don't have a lot of memory of early childhood. I think I vaguely recall a daddy longlegs crawling into my crib and freaking me out. I have a memory of like my sister having pigtails and looking at me while I was sitting in a chair. Like, no context for why that stuck out in my head. I remember Bobo going to the emergency room because he tripped and hit his head. That might explain a lot more than we thought. But yeah, not a whole lot of like concrete memories of the early childhood, Dagger. I never really thought about it. Besides, nobody ever told me. Told you what? That you should have more memories than you do? I was raised in Alexandria, but only for the age of 6 or so. 6? So where were you until then? Until then, until I turned 6. ... Oh man, this would be a great place for a cliffhanger. I must have been here, and Medane's sorry. What? What the hell? But Snake, every name on that list, they're all dead. They've been dead for 100 years. What the hell? I still can't remember everything, Some things are like they're shrouded in fog, but at least it's not. At least we know it's not raining. Like the Moogles were just peeking in the windows to be nosy, not not because they were desperately longing to be in where it was warm and dry. But I do remember one thing. The Moogles are the ones who destroyed the people of this village. We must avenge ourselves upon them. About 10 years ago, an unbelievably huge hurricane hit this village. That's as far as I remember. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. That day, I was with my true mother on a little boat far from the village. There's a cove behind Igo's house, right? The boat I was on was just like the one there. It all came back to me when I heard that song on the boat. Oh, so like hypnosis had suppressed your memories and now they're back? Or that song is from Medane Sorry, so that's why nobody else knows it. Oh, okay. I guess that had been established briefly in passing that the song she sang, like way back earlier in the game in Lindblom, the first time we hear her singing this song, and Zidane's like, "Oh my God, that song's so pretty. What is that song?" And she's like, "I don't know. I've always known it." I guess the point is it's a Lindblom or a Medane Sorry song. Translated, it means Moogles are bastards. Keep them out of our village. La 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 la. Translates to Moogles are bastards. Keep them out of our village.
How did you get to Alexandria? And why did you ditch me? Like, I could have at least had one other person here. How come you got to be a princess?
That is a fair question. Little 8-year-old girl who has this, like, teenager prancing around being a princess and now claiming to have a tragic backstory where she's from this village.
Like, why did you get to be a princess? I got stuck living here with a bunch of fucking Moogles. How come you don't have a summoner's horn?
That's also a good question. I don't know. I guess because the, if I had a summoner's horn, well, A, there would have been complicated questions where everybody knew that I wasn't from around Alexandria, and B, they wouldn't have been able to market the game around my beauty if I had a big old horn sticking out of my forehead. But maybe Dr. Tut can tell me. I don't know. Like, is the Summoner's Horn thing a thing that is just a Final Fantasy thing, or is it something else from Japanese mythology it references? Because it is a running thing in Final Fantasy, where the summoners will have horns. Like, in Tactics, like, it was part of the uniform. Like, they wore these ornate robes, and they had these headbands with horns on them. So, it was like, they did not physically have horns. It was part of the regalia. And then in Final Fantasy X, they have that gag about how the Ronzo, who do have horns, were going to build a statue of Yuna and give her a horn. And Yuna was, of course, the summoner. I suppose Ronzos could be summoners. I don't know if any of the high summoners other than... Yeah, we get a list at one point of, like, the 3 or 4 high summoners who have existed, and we don't really learn anything about any of them other than Braska. Why am I talking about every game except this one? Maybe Dr. Tut can tell me how to get on with the story. I don't know that any of the high summoners in Final Fantasy X were supposed to have been Ronso. About the lady who protected me from the storm as the boat lurched about in the waves. My biological mother, who died on that boat. How do you even know that it was your mother? The woman she thought was her mother became someone else, and her true mother was already dead. She's lost a lot of moms. Dagger's lost 2 mothers. Why, if someone else were to adopt her now, Zhang Fei would write in and say, "Bastard with 3 mothers, no me for ye day of Yan." And they'd have a super cool combat battle. A combat battle. That's what they're called. If I don't stop going on these weird transgressions, we're not even going to get to where I load this bit of off-screening. I used to pray every day here at the Eidolon Mall.
You too, huh? Not a whole lot else to do in this town.
You pray here too, Aiko?
Well, fuck yeah. Like, yes. I thought that was established.
I'm so happy I remembered.
Dagger. Welcome home.
Aw, it's nice that there's a little bit of kinship now, because I don't think Aiko liked Dagger very much. It's like this guy that she's got a crush on shows up with a girl in tow. They were playing up this like silly jealousy angle. It's a common theme in anime comedy too. The girl who's too young to have a boyfriend and is jealous of the girl who does. Rimaruru's whole thing is she wants to, replace Nakaruru by murdering her in the night. So glad to be back.
Ah ha ha.
What?
I just realized I'm not alone anymore. I've got Vivi. Yep, I made up my own mind. Fuck these Moogles. I want to live with humans.
Oh, right.
Zidane, Dagger, I'm going with you. Kick Vivi out of the party. I'm the new cute kid. I'll be breaking my promise to my grandpa, but I want to go. Besides, Grandpa always told me to be honest with myself. And honestly, I think he was a rube.
I don't know what the future holds, but I want to finish what I came here for. So do I. What was that again? Let's all go together. Yep.
Come on, Dagger, let's go pray together.
Alright, I'll just go to like the shop bit while you guys pray. Alright. Let's wander around to the PX while you guys pray. That's for Bobo, I guess. Maybe. I still don't know what I should do. By the time we defeat Kuja and return to Alexandria...
Grandpa, I'll be back soon.
Oh, you're coming with us?
Hey, why the long face?
Oh, nothing. My face is always like this. Yeah, I was about to say, like, his face doesn't really change.
Mog's coming too.
Nope, that's where I draw the line. We didn't discuss this, and there's no way.
Mog!
Take your time, Mog. We'll wait. Goobo, 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 goobo. I guess... Well, no, I was about to say maybe male Moogles have red pom-poms and females have yellow, but we've met female Moogles before, and they had red pom-poms too. Lady Aiko, I have something important to tell you, but it'll have to wait till next time, because it's time to call it a video, and I think this time I actually will take a... I just need to run to the bathroom, and maybe if I'm really thinking about it, I'll actually quick go back and look at that video I mentioned to try to refresh my memory of why we came to this continent in the first place. So we might be armed with that information when we come back next time. See you then. Okay, well, I tried to click stop, but then a pop-up appeared for Men's Warehouse. Like, in my inbox, I guess I got a spam email from Men's Warehouse that literally appeared as I was clicking on the stop button. So now we can stop, and between videos I can read about all the wonderful savings that are available at Men's Warehouse. Catch you next time.